Hello everybody, this is David Blair, the Crosshairs Trader. I trust that you're going to have a wonderful day both in and outside the markets. I've got good news and bad news. Let's start with the bad news. The bad news is the market is still not doing anything. Still going sideways, just like we've been talking about the last few days, and exactly what we anticipated. The good news is it's doing what we anticipated. And in consolidating, it is giving us time to look at several different stocks to potentially trade while we wait for what I'm seeing is potentially a continuation of the trend that started about a month ago. We'll soon know whether or not that's going to continue, but right now, during a consolidation where amateurs are getting frustrated and upset, particularly those who look at bigger charts, where amateurs are getting upset and trying to get in and out of positions on these days where we go up 50 points, down 50 points, up 30, down 30, while they're getting frustrated, those who know how to control their emotions are able to sit back, enjoy life outside the charts, anticipate that this is exactly what the market needs to do, is to relax, give us a sign that it's going to continue in the direction it's been going, and in so doing, we can look at several stocks that can provide us an opportunity to make money. There's nothing wrong with not being in the market. In fact, most of your money is made and saved and kept by not being in the market. So that's the good news. I'm going to talk about just two stocks today along with our general market. We Crosshairs traders who meet twice a week for hour-long webinars, we've got many stocks that are setting up telling us that they're ready to move if this market continues its trend up and gives us that sign. We also have a few to play on the downside if the market decides to roll over. So let's take a look, starting with the S&P futures. Again, all of these charts are going to look the same. We're right here in the consolidation. We're at the end of September, going into the beginning of October. So if history holds true, we could have that beginning of the month move as money comes into the market, but we don't know yet. It doesn't have to happen that way. I don't trade it that way. I simply watch to see if we can spring out of this consolidation, which we've been hoping would happen. I'd like to see another day or two of it. Not saying I'll get it, but I'd like to see another day or two of it. All right, let's take a look at the NASDAQ futures. Same thing. We've had a big move. We've got some major moving averages crossing over, but we'd like to see the consolidation and then head toward that high on the NASDAQ. Same thing we've been looking at. And notice I do have my weekly charts above, and we have that resistance here that comes back April 08 and April 2010. So we're getting ready to hit that resistance. Again, if we can bust through that, that would be wonderful. We could at least possibly trade it up to that resistance in the stocks that we're watching up to some resistance areas. Here's your NASDAQ. Same thing, we've got some resistance up here. We're holding here. Let's look at our S&P. Resistance, holding, trying to see if we can consolidate and bust through that area in here and head on up to this area and then possibly this area. And let's take a look at the Russell. We talked about this one yesterday. It is trying to break out and hold above this support level. Got plenty of room to run till the resistance is hit. can see that on the weekly chart as well. We've had a nice pullback, and now it's trying to break out of that, break out of some resistance areas on the moving averages, and you can see where there's major resistance. We've got some areas of small resistance right now, but if we can break through them, we can head to some areas of major resistance. So that's going to give us some possible trades over the next few weeks on the upside, and then we're really going to have to look at that downside, but that's going to be a while. OEX, which is your S&P 100, also finding support right above this breakout area. So we're really in an area that needs to tell us what it's going to do. If we can break out of here, we've got plenty of room to run up to some resistance areas. If it can't, it looks like we're going to bust back down into the consolidation area. We just do not know yet. So let's look at a couple of stocks that we've been watching. BEXP, Brigham Exploration. Right now we're up about 20% on the options trade on this. If you did get into this on the crosshair that fired 4 days ago, when I was looking at this, I was noticing that it was squeezed together, and all of these moving averages that we look at, it had broken out to a recent high, and we knew that we could pause at this area, which we did. We can also pause at this area about 19 on our way up to the high of around 21. So the way I trade a stock like this is I enter a small position, am aware of the fact that it can hit some minor resistance, pull back and continue to go up, or fail. If it fails, I get out and say that's okay, take a small loss. But I'm willing to risk a small amount of money to get into a trade. Watch what it does here. If it consolidates, breaks out, I will then add to my position, which is the exact opposite of what losers do. Losers add to losing positions. Winning professional traders who are in control of their emotions add to their winners. Our next one, IBM. I'll bring up IBM because we have been watching this one for a couple of months. And IBM, of course, is going to trade with the general market. And it's been doing that in that it's been finding these areas of resistance and support around the same area. But what is now happening is this pattern that we've been having of going up, hitting a resistance area, falling, hitting a resistance area, falling, hitting a resistance area and falling, has now possibly been broken. All of our moving averages from our weekly chart and here on our daily chart are starting to line up and stack exactly the way we want them to. We're broken out here. What I would like to see is some consolidation, some rest, and then as long as we're in this upper right quadrant here, we've got some wonderful opportunities if the market decides to rise and break out and continue to go up for IBM to make us some money. So we're watching BEXP as a position and IBM as a potential position. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Thank you for visiting my blog. Come back anytime and inquire about my premium services. If you're interested, you can contact me at david@crosshairs.com. Please have a wonderful day, both in and outside the charts.